Greeting, friends, and welcome to the Midweek Meditation with the Minister. I'm Reverend Don Fortune from the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the South Jersey Shore. We are in Galloway, New Jersey, and we are meeting via Zoom these days until the pandemic gets a handle on itself. And you can join us at 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings. The website has a link directly to worship, and you can check it out at uucsjs.org. And I hope you'll join us. So every week I do this midweek meditation thing, and boy, hasn't there been a lot going on in the past week or two. It's January 13th, and wow, 2021 has been long. So there's a lot of upset going on. There's a lot of anxiety. For a lot of folks, born here in the United States, we've never seen our government come apart at the seams like this. And so it's really upsetting, and it's antithetical to everything we've understood our country to be. Growing up, we were always told that sort of riotous uprising happens in other places because we have this civilized, meaning white, democracy, and that we had this peaceful transfer of power at the end of one administration, the beginning of another. But holy cow, this week has been really, really upsetting. And our monthly theme for January is imagination. And there's so many places we can go with that right now. What I'd like to do, though, is I'd like to offer you a little piece about courage and fear. And this is from a little book I have here. It's a collection of sermons from Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. We're celebrating his birthday on Monday. And this is Strength to Love. It was originally published in 1963. Harper and Row edition, published in 63. And this dinky little paperback version sold for 50 cents when it first came out, and this came out in 1964. But the piece I want to read to you is from his sermon, Antidotes for Fear. And this is just a little snippet. It's a good long poem. Look it up online. It's worth reading. But I want to share with you this piece of it this morning, okay? Courage and cowardice are antithetical. Courage is an inner resolution to go forward in spite of obstacles and frightening situations. Cowardice is a submissive surrender to circumstance. Courage breeds creative self-affirmation. Cowardice produces destructive self-abnegation. Courage races fear and thereby masters it. Cowardice represses fear and is thereby mastered by it. Courageous men, in this place, let us say courageous people, never lose the zest for living, even though their life situation is zestless. Cowardly people, overwhelmed by the uncertainties of life, lose the will to live. We must constantly build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. That's Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday we celebrate on Monday. So, it's not always easy to talk about courage when everything's upset, but that, of course, is exactly when we need the courage. And courage doesn't mean not being afraid. Fear is an absolutely reasonable response to terrifying events. Okay, that's what's allowed us to evolve to the year 2021 and still, live and have opposable thumbs and do all the things that we do. We've learned to respond to dangerous things by being afraid, and that has kept us alive. On the other hand, if we want to overwhelm fear, right, even though we want to do, as Dr. King says, courage races fear and thereby masters it. If we want to master fear, that doesn't mean going forth being fearless. It means acting despite the fear, understanding the risks, and believing in something bigger than ourselves that is sufficient for us to take that personal risk. And so right now, we're in this place where we're going to have to take some personal risks, some of us, to do the right thing. And in case there's any confusion, understand that the right thing is not invading the U.S. Capitol and beating people with fire extinguishers and generally causing a riot. In this case, the right thing to do is to work for the peaceful transfer of power and to encourage our lawmakers to do the same. This is what democracy is about, and we live in a democratic society that ensures freedom of religion and ensures freedom of speech. And we can be free to say what we like, but we are not free necessarily from repercussions from what we say. So what we say matters. And I'm telling you that love is bigger than what's going on there. And peace is bigger than what's going on there. And if we devote ourselves to those things and insist upon peace and order, and I'm talking about order, but the peaceful transfer of power, a work towards justice, to do to the least of these what needs to be done to lift up those who are most marginalized. That's what we're here to do. And so to do that, we have to take a little bit of risk, which means we have to be willing to act even though we're afraid. These are unsettling times, and I'm not going to tell you to not be afraid because fear is reasonable. What I'm going to encourage you to do is to take a deep breath and master the fear and go forward and do the right thing. Okay? I hope you'll join us on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. UUC, SJS, UUCSJS.org. Okay? I hope you'll join us. We're working towards getting closed captioning going fairly soon. And I hope we'll see you on Sunday. Take care now. Be well.